Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rekha. Today, I am presenting a short overview of the great learning experience with Team EMERGE, that is internship in IoT, which I have done in between November 17 to December 14. These are the content of internship. IoT internship kickoff, C and C++ programming, IoT overview and architecture, project requirements, design Arduino programming, building the units peripheral programming, and Disha workshop. These are the week by week activities which we have studied during our internships. This is all about IoT internship kickoff and week one. On very first day of internship, the things I learned: introduction, a well organized schedule of internship by the team, emerging examples of IoT, that is fan, light, using an remote app remotely, smart washing machine, health, medical equipments, fitness, smartwatch, and any other. A brief knowledge of what is device. So device is nothing but a uh, an embedded system which has many sensors and can be accessed by internet and also controlled by internet. We have learned shortly about device. Similarly, we have introduced by embedded system. What is embedded system? So embedded system is nothing but the combination of both hardware and software. Then we discussed how to build embedded application and why we are going to learn C, not other language, because C is the very efficient language uh, uh, compared to other languages. Then we studied uh, the requirement to build a project. Then we discussed shortly about our goal of internship. So these are the things which we learned in week one. In week one, we started about C programming. Uh, about in C programming, we learned what is C programming, and then we studied in detail what is keywords, data types. We have studied each and every keywords and data types in detail with the example of a code. Then we studied conditional constructs and operators, in which we have studied all the types of operators, then conditional constructs and means the different types of loops, for loop, uh, while loop, do while loops, everything we have studied in detail. Then we started with array. Then with example of array, we studied after that pointer and functions with suitable example. Then we studied C++, which is object oriented language. Then we have studied the difference between C and CPP, where one is a programming language and other is a object oriented language. Then in week 2 we have studied IoT overview and architecture, project requirements, design Arduino programming. So in week 2 we have studied first what is Internet of Things and where it is used. As shown in figure, we have studied from home to workplace and again from workplace to home. Everywhere Internet of Things is used. Everywhere, in every sector, we are using Internet of Things. And then we studied challenges which we are facing in Internet of Things. The challenges included in Internet of Things are addressing, like scaling and connectivity, data volume, data size. These are the some challenges which we are facing in IoT. For that challenges, there are some solution and there are some solution also. Like for scaling problem, we can use cloud storage as a part of IoT. For connectivity, we are using queues. For data volume, again we are using cloud storage. For device size, we are using AMQP and MQTT, which are the protocol like HTTP or alternative for HTTP, we can say. Then we have studied IoT architecture. Before that, here are the some examples of IoT we in our daily life which we are using in every sector. We can see here the light, smart lighting, health monitoring, pet tracking, behavior modification, object tracking, indoor navigation, food and nutrition tracking, smart appliances, sleep tracking. So by seeing this image, uh, we can analyze that everywhere we are using IoT. So we can think how IoT is three parts: device connectivity, data processing and analytics, and presentation. In device connectivity, IP capable device IoT client, existing IoT device IoT client, low power devices, gateway IoT client. This is the blue path is showing data path. And then we studied how gateway is connecting to both steps: device connectivity and data processing and analytics. Then we have studied what is presentation part. In presentation and business connectivity, there is a connectivity from IoT solution backend to presentation. Then we have studied in deeply what is embedded system. The embedded system is nothing but the combination of hardware and software which is intended to do a specific task. Then we studied examples of embedded system. So anything which we can connect remotely, it is called as embedded system, like TV, washing machine, phone, smartwatch, and many other appliances. Then we have studied categories of embedded system, which are standalone, network, real time, mobile, and hybrid. These are the categories of embedded system. Then we have studied components of embedded system. Uh, for it is a structure of software where we are interfacing a memory or analog to digital converter or digital to analog converter, humor interfaces, diagnostic part to a specific microcontroller or system on chip or microprocessor, which we can call anything. This is the structure of a embedded system, how we are connecting and which components we are using in the architecture. In week 3, we have started the learning of building the unit's peripheral programming. So in week 3, we have studied one by one sensors or like LED which we are using for our home automation. These are the requirements for our home automation. First, we have studied LED. LED is a light emitting diode. It is a simplex device which is most of the embedded application used in most of the embedded application as a feedback. Then we studied why we are using LED only. So LEDs work like just a diode, and it has low energy consumption and longer life, as well as smaller size and faster switching make it usable in wide application, in home lighting, remote controls, and many other things. We are using LED. So we uses LED as a part of home automation. Then we studied how to interface LED with microcontroller or Arduino. And then we studied the types of LED circuiting. There are two types of LED circuiting. First one is sourcing circuit. Sourcing circuit, it is called a sourcing circuit uh, because here microcontroller or Arduino act as a source of current, and as it passes through microcontroller and current passes through our microcontroller and then towards ground. Then another one is sinking circuit. Here current here microcontroller and or Arduino is a here microcontroller or Arduino sinking the current will flow external to the ground. So here it is called as sinking circuit. Then we studied the steps to toggle the LED for every 1 second. So there are 6 steps to toggle LED with microcontroller or Arduino. In our case, we are using Arduino, so let us consider Arduino. The first step is configure the pin as output pin, then turn on the LED. Then third step is delay, then again turn off LED, then again delay, then go to step 2. This is the 6th step. By following this step, we can toggle the LED to Arduino. To toggling or observing simulation, we are using Arduino IDE, Pixim Lab, and Blink mobile application for our project. So these are the classes which we are using in coding. For our home automation project, pin mode, digital write, digital read, delay, liquid crystal, set cursor, LCD initialization, or LCD backlight, LCD clear, LCD home, analog read, and many other classes also we are using for our home automation project. Similarly, LED, similar to LED, by using those classes and required software, we have done step by step and separate simulation of CLCD. CLCD is nothing but the character liquid crystal display, which is mostly used to display ASCII character. So we have studied the types of CLCD first, then we have performed its simulation using Arduino and PiximLab. Then we have studied LM35, which is nothing but a temperature sensor, uh, which is temperature sensor is analog in nature. So therefore, we use ADC, analog to digital converter, because our controller understand only digital signals. So real time in linear signals we have to convert into digital form. Therefore, we using a analog to digital converter, that is ADC, to use our controller efficiently. Then we have studied LDR sensor. LDR is nothing but the light dependent resistor. It is a component which has variable resistance that changes with the light intensity that falls upon it. This allows to be used in our project also. Then we studied serial tank. In serial tank, we studied how to control volume, when to open inlet valve, when to turn off the inlet valve through our blink application with connecting remotely. Like we can operate inlet valve, outlet valve, LED, and our cooler, heater through our mobile phone. So in this way, with all the stepwise learning and using all the concepts, finally home automation project is done. So then we in at the last week we have studied, we have workshop is arranged for us for students, that is in workshop on 13th or 14th December we have learned how to build our resume, and these 2 days are really motivational for us students. The things I learned from this internship is how interesting core field is, and future scope in designing and IoT, huge knowledge about sensor and its application, the area to explore more myself. Then thanks to Team Emergy for this great learning and deep knowledge. Really, this is very useful internship for students like us to explore for our future. Thank you. This is my code which is done for home automation. This is whole code for controlling temperature sensor and LED, then outlet valve, inlet valve. These are just all header files and code. And this is the simulation part which I have make to complete a home automation project. Thank you.